My name is Nicole Merritt, and I'm an instructor in the special education department at K-State. I work primarily with undergraduates as they're working to get their elementary teaching degree, and I also work with graduate students as they work through their practicum. I never thought I would end up in special ed. When I went through K-State as an undergrad, I thought I would be a career classroom teacher. But in my first couple of years of teaching, I discovered this interest that I didn't know I had.
I spent a year or two working at another job, driving back and forth, taking evening classes. And I ended up with an experience where I was allowed to or required to work at the state hospital in one of their laboratory schools. And that kind of gave me the bug, if you will.
All my life I've been for the underdog, so I was attracted to this kind of career. It's not a job that you take because there are a lot of jobs. You have to really want to do this in order to be good at it.
I had students with academic needs, with behavioral needs, with social needs, and it was a side of teaching that I just hadn't really explored before until I was actually in my own classroom. I think much like I was as an undergrad, special education is a world that they don't know much about. They haven't spent a lot of time in schools yet to know what special ed really is. So my hope is to help them discover that they have a passion for this, to look at those kids who are struggling a little closer from the get-go instead of figuring it out several years down the road.
All of us have had considerable experience in the public schools, and it's appreciated by the students. I mean, they can tell.
It's been a fantastic ride. And when I think about the K-State legacy, I think about the emphasis on teaching the teachers to work with kids with disabilities and just seeing how well-trained they are, how enthusiastic they are about the profession. And I've tried to encourage a sense of humor and fun when you work with kids with disabilities because they're endlessly fascinating and endlessly fun. And I think we've done an excellent job of providing some really, really excellent teachers to the field.
Not only do they have the years of experience, but in different settings. We have individuals who worked in hospital settings, high incidence, low incidence, all on one team. And that's a huge advantage for having a comprehensive, well-developed plan for what you need to succeed in special ed. In education, you're surrounded by other adults, but when you're the special ed teacher, you might be the only one in your building with that expertise, or you might be one of two. And so it can feel a little bit sometimes like you're floating on an island, or that people don't quite understand the role that you have and how it fits into the school.
We have always emphasized with the students that we're family. We help them while they're here. We help them launch them into their careers. And if they need help down the line, they know that they can come back to us, talk with us, and we will give them the assistance that they need. I have students that I worked with 10, 15, 20 years ago that I still have contact with and still offer them advice from time to time as they do me.
You're not just here taking classes and then you're gone from us the next semester. When we say, hey, you're joining the EdCat family, you're part of the family.
I think our group has made an effort, an individual and a collective effort, to stay current. And by current, I don't mean reading the latest journal, although that's part of it. It also means knowing what happens in those classrooms, knowing what the daily challenges of families and students and teaching staff to try to meet those unique needs of individuals. It's kind of where the rubber meets the road, if you will.
The more experiences you can have with human beings with disabilities, the better. And so if you can be a student aide, teacher aide in a middle school or a high school, visit an early childhood, unified classroom, I mean, the kids are just great. But the more experiences you can have, the more you'll understand, but also I think the more you will want to do this.